I left the city, I've been browsing. Treading water that they drowning. I head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are backing up another video, and guys, today was All-American night. This was All-American Season 4, Episode 1, called Survival of the Fittest. I cannot believe it, guys. We are back with All-American again. It just felt like yesterday we just ended Season 3, and I just can't believe how quickly our shows are coming back on. You know, it's crazy, you know. I feel like we just did this a couple of months ago, and we're already on Season 4. Same with Riverdale's coming back in November, and a whole bunch of other shows are just coming back on. It's just crazy how fast time is flying. It's just so good to finally get the answer that we've been asking about: is Coop alive or is she dead? And you know, this episode just was awesome. I loved this episode. It was a great episode. You know, there were some things that annoyed me about, you know, a certain character that I just got so annoyed thinking, oh my God, how petty can you be? And we'll get into more of that, of who I think, you know, that one character that really annoyed me, but going into this. But, you know, we start off this episode with Spencer. He's at a grave site, and he's talking to a tombstone. Again, a lot of people saw this in the trailers and said, oh, you know, this doesn't confirm Coop is dead. It could just be he's talking to his father and a whole bunch of things. And when I first saw that trailer, I was like, oh my God, did they just confirm Coop's dead? But as we're going through this episode, there was a lot of, you know, we're like 3 days out from, you know, the game already happened. This is taking 3 days after the championship game. And, you know, Spencer, while he's talking to, you know, the tombstone, we get a lot of information about what happened, you know, like, you know, back, you know, before, you know, like, you know, back on the championship night, because again, we're missing those 3 days, and this is 3 days after the championship, but we're revisiting those nights when Spencer's talking about what he was going through on the championship night, saying, you know, Crenshaw was, you know, were pretty much, you know, they were winning the game, and, you know, that's when, Grace comes in, tells Billy, like, you know, I need Spencer. Spencer finds out, and then Spencer leaves. And, you know, we get cutbacks to each part of that night from everybody else's perspective, but mainly from Spencer's. Like, you know, when Spencer, you know, he leaves the game, he ends up getting there, he ends up seeing, you know, Patience, and, you know, Patience isn't sure what happened. She has no insight on what happened, because Preach isn't there, you know, as we find out in this, that Preach is the one. Preach, like no one knows who dropped off Coop. All we know is that Coop just showed up there. No one knows who dropped her off. No one knows what happened to her, essentially, except the only one that knows what happened is Preach. And Preach, you know, we get a little bit more about him later on in the show, about him, you know, coming to tell what actually went down. But, you know, I love how when Spencer gets there and Spencer gets a text from Preach, he knows right away to get out of there without Patience knowing, because I guess, you know, Preach, like, says, oh, don't tell Patience, but, you know, come outside, come out here, I have to talk to you, meaning that, you know, he knew Patience was going to be upset at him, saying, what the hell happened, why are you here, this, and that. And I love how, you know, Spencer's like, this isn't the time, this isn't the place, whatever, but, you know, kind of defending, you know, Patience, saying, you know, you need to step back and you need to tell us what the hell happened. And I love how, at first, you know, Patience and, you know, all of them were like, kind of like, okay, like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be here, this, and that, and all this, and that. And I love how, when thinking, like, oh, like, where's Mo? And I love how, like, I love how, you know, Preach said, you know, Mo's gone, Mo's dead. Because I don't think Patience knew that, you know, Preach was going to make that choice for Coop. But little does, you know, she end up finding out that, I'm blanking right now. Little does she know that Preach will do anything and everything to protect Coop. He was willing to sacrifice Moa's life to save Coop. Like, regardless of them having a kid or whatever, when it comes to, you know, Coop, Preach will do anything to save Coop. And little does Patience understands that, because he probably thought, Patience thought, probably Mo got away, this, and that, like, where is Mo, like, this, you know what I mean, like, she was wondering, like, did she get away, is she dead, what's happening, and I love how, like, Spencer and Patience were very shocked when he said, Mo's dead, and I love how, like, we're just getting, we got a lot of that, but I'm kind of annoyed at the same time, because I would really have loved that if we would have started this episode right where we left off from the game. I kind of feel like we kind of got, we kind of missed out on all the cool things that were happening with the game, because they built up the championship game so much, and, Coop's death, I felt like it would have been more dramatic if we were in the night, seeing Spencer actually play, feeling like we were with Spencer, and then getting that, going to the sidelines and finding out that Coop's in the hospital. I felt like it would have meant more. I felt like a lot of that was taken because it wasn't in the moment, and that's the kind of thing I'm kind of annoyed about. But it did work out in the end, but I feel like it would have been a more, like, heart-wrenching, things are happening right now. It's not just, we know everybody's kind of safe in a way, because we end up, seeing them, like, we don't know again if Coop is still alive or dead. I kind of had moments where I'm like, where we see a moment where Layla is fine after, we know she got captured from Carrie, but, like, it was crazy to me, because it's like we find out in the episode that, that Layla's fine. We kind of just know she's fine, and then she gets flashbacks to Carrie on what happened that night, and I felt like it would have meant more, like, oh my god, is Layla actually going to live or die, while, Spencer's going to, go, see Coop in the hospital and see if she's going to be okay, or see if she's going to live, or whatever's going to happen. I was kind of, that would have been, like, more emotion, like, going, like, oh my god, this is happening while this is happening. I feel like they kind of missed out on the opportunity. Also, while the game is happening, who's going to win the game? I just feel like, since you did it 3 days later, and you're kind of doing it by memories of flashbacks of what we missed in those 3 days of the championship, and people finding out, like, is Coop going to live or die, and what's going to happen, is Layla going to live, or is she going to die, what's going to happen? I felt like we kind of missed out on that adrenaline, and I felt like that would have been such a great way to start off the season. Again, I felt like it was okay enough where I'm like, okay, I kind of understand why they wanted to do this, because they wanted to kind of, I don't know. At the same time, I don't quite understand. I feel like maybe they just wanted to really just get into the season without having to be like, oh, how long is this going to take? How long is this, and this? Because we end up finding out while, they're trying to figure out, like, is Coop stable enough to be put in surgery? But, she's not stable enough, but they're like, she's losing too much blood. If we're going to do this, we got to do this now. Even though she's not waking up or whatever, we just got to go do this. So they end up taking her back to the surgery room, and right now, Coop's father's there. Coop's mother's not there. She's actually took a flight to get there, and at the time, Spencer's there. Olivia's there. Patience is there. Everybody is there pretty much, except Jordan and all them. I think they do get there at some point. I think they got there at the time where they all went in the back, but then when all of them are there, they get the news saying that Coop is in a coma and they're not quite sure when she'll wake up, and that's what everybody expected. Like, Coop would probably be in a coma. So kudos for you guys in the comments of my trailer reaction video, because you guys came in clutch with a lot of this. With spot on about a lot of things. The coma and the grave site talk, Spencer talking, to his father at the grave site and all that stuff. Like, you guys were pretty damn spot on about all this. And, kudos to you guys, because, I kind of, when I, like, finished watching the trailer, I was like, I don't know if they're going to do this, because I kept flip-flopping back and forth in this episode. Is she dead or is she not dead? What's happening? But when they said coma, I was like, okay, this kind of confirms that she'll probably pull through. When they said coma, I was like, okay, I think she'll pull through, because they're saying she's in a coma and she's not just dead. So I was like, okay, so I was like, I was thinking to myself, this might go on for a while. I'm like, oh, I hope they don't drag this out where she's in the coma all this time. And initially they don't end up doing that. She actually ends up, surviving at the end of this, which it was like a big, oh my god, it was like, oh my, when you got the text, I knew right away, I was like, okay, it's Coop. She woke up, she's alive still. I do feel like, again, they missed out on, oh my god, will she live or die? Oh, how long will she be in the coma for? This, and that. I feel like, again, it would have meant more for the moments if it was, we just took place right where we left off. Also, with, Jordan playing the best game of his life is what we're hearing when, I always forget her name. Laura goes to go see Billy, and Billy's still not talking to Spencer, and that's the bullshit I'm talking about, where this man is so petty. And this is what really annoyed me. You just encountered one of your close, a person you consider like a family member, initially almost coming to, like, pretty much almost coming to death, or is still in a coma at the time. Or even when, like, before she even got in the coma, but someone got shot, and you're really gonna hold a grudge over something that Jordan chose to do. And Spencer said, if I help him, he will be okay, and I can be there, and I can make sure he doesn't take himself too far and push himself too far. But he cannot forgive Spencer, and that really annoys the shit out of me. He's like, how petty are you? You just had the biggest thing happen ever, where it's like two family members pretty much essentially to you almost died, Layla and Coop, but you're still so petty, not forgiving Spencer for something he didn't even do wrong. Again, he would have even done it with or without Spencer. He would have done it even if you knew. Jordan still would have done the practice even if you knew, behind your back. Like, I don't think Billy quite understands that. And if he's like, oh, it's not your, like, he ends up coming at Spencer towards the end of the episode, pretty much, telling him off and all that crap. And I'll get more into that towards the end of this. But I know I'm all over the place, guys. There was just a lot that happened. So we also see a lot more, since we see a lot more flashbacks with Layla. She gets, little, triggers here and there of the night where she almost, gets killed by Carrie. And Carrie is not well. She needs to go back to her facility and all that stuff. But she almost killed Layla, and Layla took, and you can really see in this episode that Layla's traumatized, after those 3 days, that Layla is literally traumatized because Carrie almost killed her. And, we see that through the episode where, she's she's waking up screaming, having a nightmare, saying, Carrie, no, please, no. And then we see other things. We see her, having, she doesn't feel safe in her own home. You can really tell that Layla is not well, and she needs people to be there for her, but we end up finding out more of what she actually needs. She doesn't need the smothering from her father. Apparently she doesn't feel comfortable that he's there, and that's a part of the problem as we get into in this episode. But I love how, I'm seeing more of a connection where hear me out on this. I'm thinking what's going to happen is I'm going to be honest. Since she's pulling away from her father, because she doesn't like how, he's smothering her and feeling like, oh, now he wants to be here for me. Now, I almost died, this, and that. And she kind of feels that way. She is going more to Jordan. And now that she is staying with Jordan and them, Olivia, and living in the Baker house, for the meantime, because she doesn't want to live with her father, because she feels like, the last time I felt really safe is when, mom was still alive. But, I'm going to be honest, ever since that, you've been quite part of the problem where I don't feel safe. It's not the break into anything. It's you trying to be here. And he kind of realized that in his head, that he should have always have been there for her, and that the way she's feeling is because of himself. And I feel like they'll grow over time, and that will get, that will get mended, and their relationship will be stronger. Between Layla and her father, JP, which again, I still can't get over that they recasted JP. I still can't get used to that's her new, that's JP. That's the new JP. I just can't get over that. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I like the old JP more. I feel like we had more of a connection with that JP. But again, it could just be we only had one season with him. It might take me some time to get used to him. But, we do see her interact with Jordan more. And here's what I'm thinking is that I think they're going to start feeling each other. Even if I feel like they kind of started feeling each other back in season 3, 3 almost. I forget when they really started, feeling each other. I think it was at that ball dance or whatever, I think, if I'm correct, where or it was at the wedding or something, when Jordan asked to give her a dance or something, Layla and all that. And I'm just thinking that I know what's going to happen. Jordan and I feel like Layla will be together. And I think Simone is going to be with Damon out in All-American Homecoming, that show, because as we all know, he started liking her. She kind of had some, kind of oh, you're this and that, but she's kind of feeling him. I feel like that's where they're trying to go. They're trying to head this, because she is going to that show. Simone's character is going to be leaving All-American, I think, and going to that show, because she's going to college there. And I feel like they're trying to set up his love interest and have he started trying, like, he's gonna realize, I like you, Layla. I have a feeling maybe that's where it could go. That's a theory of mine. Could be so far out. I really want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below about that theory. But I feel like that's a possibility where, like, that's what they're trying to do, because I felt like that's what they were trying to do in that crossover. It's like, oh my god, they're trying to do that love triangle thing, but I feel like she's going to go with Damon, and, Jordan's going to have to be with somebody else, because Jordan was playing that. They made Jordan play that, jealous boyfriend type thing. And I feel like there's going to be a moment where, like, Simone is feeling Damon at this college, and be like, I still want to be friends with you, Jordan, but I like Damon. And I feel like that's what's going to happen, and he's going to fall in love with Layla, and this and that. I feel like that's what we're building up to. But also going with, pretty much we didn't get too much of Laura. We don't know really what much she's been up to. And we don't really know what Billy's pretty much been up to, except, he had to step it up when Spencer left. But at the end of all of the drama, he was kind of okay when Spencer left. He didn't say you have to stay, you didn't have to do anything, because again, he's so caught up in his own drama, in his own head, in his own selfishness, in his own little, in his own, like, keeping his little grudges and shit for stupid reasons, that, he pretty much says to Spencer, we won that game, and we won it without you. And then pretty much that's what we tell Spencer at the end of this. We won this game, and even we won it without you. We didn't need you, or this, and that. And he's just being a dickhead. I'm like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, are you kidding me? You're doing this all because your son chose to, again, he would have defied you. Technically, he was, even though he knew he was supposed to be on sabbatical, or not sabbatical, but supposed to be, in recovery to, before he could get back in the game. And he was going to do it with or without you. He was going to do it with or without Spencer. It was Jordan's fault. And he's like, it's, what I mean? It's not, you always have to play hero. You always have to do this. And you have a hero complex. And like, we won without you. We didn't, you probably didn't think, we could win without you, but we did. Even though the refs said we didn't win. Even though that, I'm going to be honest, that's bullshit. Chris was over the line. That's a win. Crenshaw won that. And I hope they challenge that in this season, because that annoys me. There had to been, like, and you could clearly tell he was over on the footage. You could clearly tell when we saw it in the game. Those coaches must have been on some racist shit. I'm assuming. I don't even know. I'm assuming that's what it boiled down to, because that just didn't make any sense to me. That I was like, you clearly see Chris right there, and he was still laying there with the ball over the line. He's like, no good, short. Like, are you kidding me? And it doesn't make it 10 times better that the Beverly Eagles saw him get over the line, but of course they're gonna, like, they kind of said, oh no, I don't know, but they wanted to win, so of course they're probably like, oh yeah, it didn't go over, but I expected more from the Beverly Eagles to be like, okay, it went over, we lost, simple as that, let's call it a day. But of course that's not how it was going to go, so I hope they challenge that, and I hope to God Billy comes to his senses, because I'm going to be honest, I think he's going to be that ass going forward. Pretty much, he told, like, saying, I know why you won't take the scholarship to, to Toledo State, is because you're afraid. It's not because you're afraid that that they'll need you here. It's you're afraid that once you leave, they won't need you. And I'm gonna be honest, that's a shitty thing that you said to him. He saved your ass, Billy, bro. Like, he saved your career when he chose to go to that school. Again, let's be honest. Like, Beverly must not have been doing that good if he needed to go recruit Spencer. That's just plain simple. And the fact that Billy has the nerve, and also for all the stuff that, Spencer's done for him and all that stuff, it's just he has the nerve to do this. Like, if anything, it was Spencer didn't have to be like, if you're going to do this without telling your father, and you're going to, like, I need to be here so at least I can look over you. Because I know even if your dad finds out, you're still going to do it. I need to be here so you don't overdo your, like, you don't hurt yourself in the process. And even even Laura thinks that it wasn't Spencer's fault, and actually that Jordan's never played better. You know what I mean? That was his best game he's ever played. And, he didn't get hurt, and he didn't get hurt because of Spencer was there. And I just feel like, Billy's kind of like, in a way, he's kind of jealous that, Spencer was able to make Jordan recover quicker, and Spencer was able to be there for Jordan and confide, and Jordan was able to confide in Spencer and all that stuff. I feel like Billy's jealous because Jordan's never like that with Billy, and I feel like he kind of hates that, saying, "Oh, you're not his parents. We're his parents. We're the ones that are supposed to look out for him. You risked his life. You could have killed him. This, and that. I'm sick of you doing the hero complex. Like, dude, just no, Billy. You're really jumping down on my radar, man. You're really ticking me off. I can't believe he held that grudge after all the things that happened with Layla and Coop. I just couldn't believe that. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? And now he's pretty much saying to Olivia in next week's episode, oh, forget him or whatever, he's moving on with his future, you should move on with yours. Are you kidding me? You're really gonna play that card, bro? Be the biggest ass ever. Dude, I don't know. I'm not messing with Billy, guys. I'm not messing with him. I don't like him right now at all. He's being that ass. I feel like that he would, and he makes it sound like, he was looking at Spencer, even though Olivia's still going to be with Spencer because Olivia loves Spencer. Spencer loves Olivia. It doesn't matter what the hell Billy thinks. He can have his little grudge match or whatever, his little temper tantrum in the corner. He's not getting his way and trying to split them up just because he's pissed off and he's being a piece of crap, and he can't admit he's being a piece of crap. But I loved seeing how everybody tried having an intervention with Spencer when Spencer wasn't going to sign the D1 scholarship to Toledo State. I love how they brought in I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I don't know why. It's not Chris. Why am I forgetting? It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I hate when this stuff happens. Cast. Let me look this up. Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's like, it's so weird to me because I was like jumping up and down when it happened. Come on. Why isn't he on the cast list? It's the one, oh god, why am I forgetting? And why can't I find him on the cast list? Oh god, good god. Oh god, oh my god, Darnell, Lord. It's late, guys. So I loved how Darnell came back. I loved it. Darnell's like, again, like, it's either, you might be afraid of, maybe you're afraid of that, taking that next step. I don't know what it is, but you need to stop letting this, what happened to Coop, you can't punish yourself for that when it wasn't your fault. You can't feel like it was your fault. You can't not achieve your dreams and not do the stuff you wanted to do. And you can't say you're not interested in football anymore because of this. You were interested in football before, but this happens, and you're just going to, you're going to punish yourself when you shouldn't be doing that. And I just love how he was like, you're being a hardhead right now. You're being stubborn. You know what I mean? You're not doing this. This is a big deal. And you can't throw away your dreams just because this one thing happens. And I really do love that. I really do love how they all had that intervention and stuff. I was kind of hoping it would have been, like, we would have spent a little bit more time with him feeling like this a little bit, and then him trying to bounce his way back, and then maybe Cooper covering in the long game, but not too long where it takes it until the end of the season, but long enough where it's like, okay, you know what I mean? He needs to figure some things out. He needs to do this. Things got resolved pretty quickly in this episode. And again, I'm kind of annoyed because, a lot of the adrenaline pump, it was kind of there from the flashbacks, but again, we knew Layla was going to be fine. We knew in a way when they said, like when Layla said that, said to her father, saying, and, she was in the studio listening to Coop's album, like, the least I could do is finish Coop's album for her. And I was thinking to myself, I think she's still alive, but she might be in a coma. Something's going on right now. I just kept thinking, I was like, oh my god, I think she's alive. I think she's not alive. I think she's alive. I think she's not alive. They played good with that a little bit, but in a way, I kind of knew right when they said, oh, she's in a coma and they're not sure when she's gonna wake up. I kind of knew she's definitely gonna wake up. I was like, it's been 3 days. And they're kind of making it sound like, I was like, okay, they're probably trying to wrap all this up so they can just keep going. Also, if it wasn't that enough, we saw the actress that, that plays Coop. We saw her I think it was the Rams game, or I think it was at the, not Rams game, but it was at some college. And they were the whole All-American cast was there. I think it was UCLA. Yeah, it was at the UCLA game. And, they were all there, and, the person that plays Coop, she was there as well, and they just got done filming, because that's what Daniel said. He's like, oh, we just got done filming, and, we decided to come here, and watch the game and all that stuff. We got invited, and I was like, okay, this kind of confirms that Coop's still in it. So that was kind of a little bit of a spoiler that, he kind of said, oh, we just got done filming, and she was there. I was like, That was kind of a spoiler in a way, but I guess everybody didn't believe Coop was gonna die. I don't know, somewhat I didn't know. A part of me is like, I'm happy she's not dead, but I'm kind of annoyed because it's like, that would have been such a big like character moment. But I'm very happy she's still alive. But I wish that we would have like, it would have been like a, oh my god, she's alive moment. Like if it would have, if she was in the coma and she did, pull through. I don't know. I just feel like I did like this episode, but I feel like we missed a lot of the adrenaline, a lot of the oh my god, or what's gonna happen. Like instead of just being flashbacks. I want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Do you guys agree with me on that? Like, do you guys wish it wasn't a flashback and we just continued right where we left off? Because I feel like it would have been like we would have been in the moment with the character, like oh my god, what's gonna happen? Because we kind of got spoiled when we saw Layla fine. She was okay. I was like, damn it. I was like, if she's fine, I bet you Coop is fine, and Coop was fine. So, and now Coop apparently lied, saying that she shot Mo, and lied to the police. I guess the detective saying, oh, I'm not sure how I got here. Oh, I'm not sure. Like he's like, was there any witnesses? And she's like, I don't know. I just I passed out. I got shot, and and pretty much. Same as Billy blames Spencer for things. Patience is blaming Coop, saying, walked out in the hallway and said that, preached, saying, the only one that's, I thought Coop was out of all this crap. And so, until she, she pulls herself back into this. The only person that gets in Coop's way is Coop. You know what I mean? And she's like, when will this end? Meaning that, she blames Coop for getting involved in all this stuff. Same as how Spencer blamed Coop for getting involved with, with Sean and getting involved with Tyrone and all that stuff, like he blamed her and now she blames her. It's like they're both having that problem where they kind of both have hero complexes, and that's why they're such great friends. And Olivia's the same way too. She likes to help out too. She likes to just be a good friend. I don't think that's like it's just you want to be a good person and you want to help. It's just I hate when people make it sound like, oh, why you always have to save people all the time. Because some people are just like that. People like to help. And we need more of that in the world. And I just hate how like Billy's like, oh, you shouldn't do this. Like, no, dude. Like, we need more people like that. Again, if you would have stepped up, then again, you could have been the person that was helping Jordan. Because again, and also what really annoys me is again, Billy knew he got hurt, but he did anything and everything to try to get back in the NFL. So he has no right, and we talked about this last season about getting at Jordan. Jordan even says that when Billy does end up finding out, being like, you have no right to talk to me and say I shouldn't be doing this when you did everything and anything and everything to get your way back into the NFL, or how you helped me cheat to get back into the game and all that stuff. Like, you shouldn't be talking to me like this, thinking you're so high and mighty. Yeah, Billy's not the person to be doing that, and I just hate how he just feels like he's in the right when he's not in the right. And I feel like this could go on for a while where he's just going to treat Spencer like shit. And I'm going to be honest, it's not flying. It's not cool, and I just don't know. I don't like it at all. I just hope he changes his act and says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have talked to you like that. I shouldn't have blamed you. You know what I mean? Jordan would have done it with or without you, or with or without me, even if I knew, because he still did it even when he found out. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's like Billy's just trying to find someone to blame but himself. You know what I mean? Or blame everybody else but Jordan. And all that. I hate that. It's frustrating. But I mean, he's still kind of blaming Jordan. He's like, Jordan explains that, to Layla that him and, his dad, don't talk, what I mean? They might say a nice hello and then that's it. They don't even really speak to each other anymore. So he's still taking it out on Jordan. But I would say really taking it out worse on Spencer. And that really annoys me because Spencer said sorry so many times, even though he shouldn't say sorry. Because again, it's not his fault. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, even if Spencer would have told, he still would have done it. Even if Billy found out, Billy can't physically stop someone from not doing something, like from doing something. You can't. The person has to learn on their own. But if that would have happened with Jordan, Jordan would have got hurt. But that's why Spencer was there. Spencer understands what it's like. You know what I mean? Spencer kept trying his all to. Spencer is essentially Billy, but Spencer is the version of Billy that never gave up and actually kept fighting to get back in the NFL. Unlike how Billy just didn't do that. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like. It's just, I don't know. In a way, I feel like Billy's kind of jealous, in a way. But, yeah, guys, I just loved this episode. I had a blast of a time. Again, I really want to know down in the comments below, what do you guys think? Oh, by the way, I thought Carrie was going to jump when she let Layla go. I was like, she's going to jump. She's going to jump. So I'm interested to see if we'll see Carrie again, but like we'll see her when she goes through the program again and she gets help. I'm thinking we'll probably see her again. Also, I'm just curious again to know, do you guys agree with me on the fact, should we have started right where we left off to really be like, oh my god, so many things are happening right now, what's going to happen? Instead of, we're getting the respective, okay, that was 3 days ago. And, we're seeing it by flashbacks and stuff, but we got spoiled by things by seeing Layla being okay, but she's just traumatized, and she's still alive. And pretty much, we're kind of getting hints throughout the episode. Is like, Coop is still alive, or is she dead? And in a way, I kind of felt in my head, I'm like, she's alive. I was like, she's definitely alive. I'm like, wow. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, I wish we would have spent more time. Because when they said like, oh, she's in a coma, I'm like, okay, we at least get some time where it's like, will she live? Will she die? Not just, oh, she's gonna live. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I wanted to build more to it. To be like, oh my god, she pulled through. You know what I mean? It would have been such a big moment, even though it was still a big moment. Where I'm like, okay, you're good, you're healthy, you're good. But there's a bigger problem outside the door with Coop, and I feel like the writers really wanted to push it to get her back into an issue where it's like, okay, now since you're alive, what does this mean for? If the truth gets out that Preach ended up shooting Mo, well, Preach will go back to prison, I think, for good. That would be his last strike. But what will that mean for Coop? Because there's no witnesses and whatever, you know what I mean? So there's still bad things that can happen to Coop, especially because she's back in all the drama, and who knows who's connected to Mo or who wants to get revenge for Mo, or I don't even know if that does end up happening. So there's just a lot of things that can happen going forward. But I'm really curious, again, to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Again, we are back again, guys, with the reviews for All American. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy that we're back with All American Season 4. Again, this was just a banger of an episode. I loved the episode. Again, I had some things where it's like, I wish this could have happened, but I'm okay with what did happen. I'm just excited to see where this is going to go going forward. And I just cannot wait, again, to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, and like this video, guys, because I would love to have you guys here, a part of the family here on this channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. Guys, also go get your All-American, game day shirts, hashtag All-American shirts. They're up on my Etsy shop, aka my merch shop. It's on the link down in the description of the video. So go get those shirts, guys. Go post them up on your Instagram. Go tag the cast, of All American and the crew and everybody that is involved with All American. Tell them we love the show. Share this with the cast and the crew of All American. Let them know that I love the show. Let them know that I do these reviews, and just let them know I'm excited to see what happens going forward in season 4, and let them know that they killed the first episode of season 4. And I just cannot wait to keep going forward, what's going to happen going forward in the season. And guys, I also would love to start, talking to you guys more on my Instagram. So guys, go follow my Instagram. Again, it's in the description down below of this video. So go follow my Instagram. I would like to start doing more lives, maybe after the show's over and after I'm done posting the video, like go on live and talk to you guys about what you guys liked about the episode, and really like get to know you guys and get to really interact with you guys. I'll invite you guys in the actual, I'll face cam some of you guys on my Instagram live, and you guys can be in there. We can talk. I'm just curious to know, I really want to meet you guys, and this is as close as I can get to a meet and greet until, when things start to really, slow down even more, until, things start getting a little bit back to normal, and I could actually do a big meet and greet with you guys, because I would really want to do that. I really want to do that, so hopefully maybe by next year, we could do a meet and greet. That's what I would love to do, we can meet up somewhere, and maybe we can do one. But yeah, in the meantime, I really want to talk to you guys. So guys, go follow my Instagram down in the description of this video. And guys, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, guys, and join this family. We're almost to 400 subs, and that's the goal, guys, to get to 400. Right now, we're at 392 or 93 right now. We are so close to hitting 400 subscribers. I would love it if we hit 400 tonight. That would be amazing, guys. If you guys could pull that off and just hit the subscribe button and come join this family, I would be so happy, because that is my goal, to get to 400 before the end of October, and my main goal is to get to 800 before the end of this year. I know it's like, oh my god, we're almost to the end of this year, but I know we can do it, guys. I know we can do it with your love and your support. For everybody that talks to me down in the comments below. All you guys do is spread you spread love, positivity, and motivation down in the comments below. You guys inspire me to keep going with my dreams here on this channel, and I appreciate it each and every day. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for everybody that subscribed to the channel and everybody that, leaves a nice comment down below and, wants to start a conversation with me. It's the best time of my day where I get to talk to you guys, and I see this family grow each and every day. But guys, that was a video of All American episode 1. Survival of the Fittest. Again, I thought it was a great episode, and I just can't wait to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.